In this video, we're going to have Nick Hunter go through a conversation about security and securing your FileMaker file. Now, what's important to understand about this is that Nick built a improved user interface for the users to log in. It's much more professional, it's much more modern. However, it's important that if you implement a front-end security system like this, you do it correctly. It's really easy to build this incorrectly, and so he went through the process of securing his Launchpad file. So there were some concerns from some of the folks in the community. We got some great emails and they were asking about this, and we wanted to make sure this was properly secured. So understand that this is a great security video conversation. It's about how to secure the Launchpad file, and if you build a modified system to enter a username and password, you do it properly so someone can't get around it. So what you want to do is think about watching this video, understanding you're going to want to go through the steps of securing the FileMaker file, making sure that the account privileges that are used are very limited during the security login process. You also have file protection turned on, as well as you have disabled any extended privileges that allow people to access the system with URL protocols or AppleScript, things like that. So as a last note, Nick Hunter did spend some time talking to some of the engineers at FileMaker about this issue and making sure that we did all the things necessary to secure the file. Now, if you don't want to get into security and managing the accounts and privileges and extended privileges, then you might want to skip this feature in terms of the Launchpad file. So the Launchpad has a lot of great stuff in it. The optional or alternate logon process is just one option. You don't have to use it. In fact, that goes back to everything with the Lean Design course, is just pick the pieces that help you. Pick the pieces that make your life better, that make your customers' lives better. You do not have to use the enhanced security system, so just keep that in mind. So go ahead and take the time, watch this video, and learn.
This is Nick Hunter, and I'm very happy to talk to you today about the Launchpad file. This is the free file that we are distributing on our website, and I want to explain what we did to secure the file. So we want to make sure that we are demonstrating the best practices in terms of security. We are extremely aware about security problems, and we are constantly talking with FileMaker folks about this. I know that is a huge concern for everybody, so we want to make sure that you get everything you need to know in order to get your own file secure, and you can get inspired by what we did here. It's a good learning tool about learning security and how you can narrow down the security to the minimum. So first thing we have the demonstration on this is because we wanted to demonstrate a new way to log in a file. That means to get something looking like that. You know, we have a nice UI that users are familiar with, and a nice UI that is good looking and easy to use and friendly to use, something like it's less, let's say, intimidating and less, you know, more customizable than this. Okay, this is great. This is out of the box in FileMaker. Doesn't mean we can use only this. It means we can go and do something else. The concern here is that normally with a FileMaker file, you get this dialog before you try to open the file. With this technique here, you have to get into the file first in order to display this. So for many people, that could be seen as a vulnerability, which is not. And actually, not only is not a vulnerability, but it's you can add additional security levels. I'm going to walk through this. So something you need to understand is that things you type here in those two fields, or you type here, they're the same thing. We didn't replace FileMaker security. We didn't replace FileMaker account and privilege set. We didn't replace all of this. We are rely on it, and we improved it, and we made it more user friendly. We made it less cumbersome and less difficult to use. In the same time, we improved it in terms of security. We add new level of security that you don't get out of the box with FileMaker, and that is a great thing. So here, for example, I am logged in by default with an account. So let's see here the account I have. I'm going to the data viewer here right quick. Hold on. Let me show you which account I am in. Right. So I am in the login account, and the login account has a privilege set name called login secure. This is the privilege set name of this account. You can see here you don't have all the menus. So we stripped out all the menus that are not necessary. Of course, you can create a new file, you can open a file, you can close. You cannot go to manage anything, and you can save records, but you cannot, you can send, but all those are deactivated by default, so I left them. But you cannot import, export file, records and stuff like that, but those are deactivated by default. You don't have any views, you don't have any mode, you don't have browse mode, layout mode, you don't have it. And you don't have the record menu, create new record, delete, and stuff like that, you don't. So we stripped out completely this. And anyway, you cannot do it. By definition, with this account, you can't do that. But to make sure, we removed the menu as well. So we add an additional security here. So let's say I'm going to now type my, I'm typing my username, account name, and my password, right? You can see here, I can type my password and stuff like that, and I have the sign in button. But what happens here if I'm putting something that doesn't exist? Okay. So here, when something doesn't exist, it says this account doesn't match our records. That means up front, I'm telling you this account doesn't exist. And with this information, I'm hiding the sign-in button. So the sign-in button is not even there. With this technique here, you can type whatever here and you can try to sign in. It tries to sign in. It kicks you out because you can log in with something that doesn't exist. But you still have this try kind of situation, right? Here you cannot have this. You can't sign in if you don't have at least, if you don't type something here that is not valid in our record. So now that I have something here, and then you have another kind of security level that we use here. We don't want people to store their login account and password. So FileMaker gives you the possibility to not store account and password into your system, right? But when you do that, you don't allow the account name to be stored. You can allow both account name and password, or you don't allow both account name and password. We created our own system here that enhances that and say, okay, the remember me button does what it needs to be done. It does what you used to see when you log in into your bank account, or when you log in into your utility provider account, or whatever account you have. That it's the standard of the industry. What FileMaker is doing is not really the standard of the industry. It's proper to FileMaker. Here we are using the standard of the industry. When I say that, I'm saying the standard of the industry in the web. Okay? We try to mimic here, and we try to bring what the web is doing, because it's kind of a good reference. And we cannot go as far as you can go within a native application. That's why we don't even try. But we can build at least what you used to see into a website. So we like it. So I'm going to demonstrate that later. So let's sign in. So you see I have this, and then I have this nice fancy login screen. So now my account name is admin, and my account privilege set name is full access. So I switched from login account to admin account. So and the proof of it, and the proof is that we use FileMaker security because this is out of FileMaker security. So we didn't bypass FileMaker security. It's not a replacement of FileMaker security. It's just a different way to use FileMaker security and to have a better UI. And we add some kind of fancy and nice feature out of it. So now that I have my login and everything done, I want to show you what we did here to secure this account here in FileMaker Security. So you have the login account we use by default. Pretty much, you go there, you go to file option, and then you put the login here, right? This is what we do. So we can go to the security here and the login, and then you go to the privilege set here, right? So privilege set, you can see we stripped out everything that is dangerous, like ODBC, like URLs and Apple event and ActiveX and PHP, HTML, all that is gone, is not accessible and stuff like that. Only what remains is the two access, the two way to access the file. That means we have FileMaker server and WebDirect. We kept WebDirect because what I'm showing here, the technology I'm showing, the feature I'm showing is working on WebDirect. So that's why I said, why prevent people to enjoy WebDirect when it works with WebDirect? So we left it. And then you can see here you can manage extended privilege, you can manage account, you disconnect automatically, and you have a minimum menu command available, right? And of course we have very limited access to the database. The login process, the first thing we did here is to make sure that everything that is into this nice fancy login screen is locked and concealed into one unique table, which has only globals. So these globals are very secure, and because they are confined into your machine. They are confined into your session, right? So they are not valid into the file. They are valid into your session. It's very weird. It's very important states, and but it's weird because it has some properties that many people doesn't know. And here, so building something like that you have a default login and you grant the access of one table only, right? Only one table. And everything is logged there. Pretty much you are sandboxing everything, okay, in one place. So this is very important when you log in like that, when you have an automatic login, a default login, and you want to narrow down you want to make that secure. That's what you need to do. You need to be concealed into one table, and you exclusively only use globals. So when you do that, so that being said here, I want to show you that, so pretty much we have a very limited access to the database. Here I give access to this free layout only. You can view the layout and you can modify the records. Yes, you can modify the records. Why? It's because you want to modify the globals. But wait a second. It doesn't mean that when you grant modification on the records here, doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. That means the layout can modify the records. Now, of course, in the record privilege, we have very limited access. Here, for example, I need access to the login table, of course, because this is the main. So since I said, earlier, everything's global, and I need every single thing in this table. So I grant access to all, access all. You can access to all fields. You can view, you can edit. You cannot create, you cannot delete. In users, we have a user table. I'm going to show you what it is. And I need access to the user table, but I need a very limited access. So I have limited access to this table. And what I need those because those are part of the, remember what I showed you, that you need to have a user in your database in order to get the sign-in button. Okay, this is how it works. So I need to view some information, and I need to modify too. This is the remember me button. So I need those two kind of fields. I need to modify them. So it's very specific, and I need to view if the user has an account and if the user has an active account, right? So I need to view those things. So it's very limited. I'm viewing things, and I'm extremely limited here. All the thing also that we are taking care of, it's the value list, because I need the access to one value list only, and it's the Boolean true. The remember me button. It's a checkbox. So you need a value list to yes, no, yes and check and check. So a Boolean, and so I just need to view this kind of value list. That's it. Everything else is not accessible. Same thing for scripts. For scripts, we are limiting access to all of the script. No access to scripts. Only the script involved in the startup. So those are script involved in the process, right? This one is when you first open the file, so that is before you even try to type your login and password. This is when you close the window. If you close the window, things is happening. This one is when you click sign in. This one is when you want to sign in using the FileMaker dialog. And those are triggers when you type things into the fields. And then this is when you pretty much strike the carriage return keystroke on the layout. It's validating the sign in, and the on object modifier also updates the sign up button. This is to update the sign up button, and that's it. There's nothing else. And you can see here I have none using the full privileges. So none are using the full privileges. And I narrow down to the very limited scripts. With this level of restriction, it's impossible to hack this file using this account. It's very, very complicated for hackers to do anything here. We didn't stop there to secure the login process. When you type something here, so let me show you. When you type something in this here, right? You type something here. What you type is what you type is pretty much encrypted. Okay? I want everything I'm typing in the password to be encrypted. Everything you type here is encrypted. So let's demonstrate to you. When I type something here, so I'm going here. Okay. So now I want to show you the data viewer. I want to go to the login, and I want to go to see this, the password. So I have two passwords. I have the test, is where I'm testing if the password is valid or not. And I have the password here, the user. This is empty, but this is the test. As you can see, this is not my password, but it's encrypted. So, and this is a field I'm using to send the password to the script. The script here, we have a script when you go to the login here. The script here, you can see here, I'm using the password user. I'm using it to log in, right? So what I'm doing here, I'm decrypting the file, right? I'm decrypting the file, right? So this is what I'm doing. So to encrypt decrypts in a very easy way and very straightforward and very simple way, you use an auto entry calculation. And the auto entry calculation says you encrypt the base 64, the crypt encrypts, okay? So the crypt encrypts base 64. This is the one you need to use. Based encrypt base 64, okay? You need the data that you want to encrypt and the key. You need a key. A key can be, you need a key, and you need kind of a very secure key. So this is a great opportunity to me to introduce you to the get persistent ID. This is very good. This is very good because the get persistent ID is something FileMaker is generating based on your machine. It's a unique number. It's a unique string generated by FileMaker. This is the one for my machine. The get persistent ID is something unique for each machine. You can try at home. Each machine has a different number. It's proper to FileMaker. This is a FileMaker stuff. Don't go online and try to find it in SQL and stuff like that. But this is a FileMaker stuff based on particular algorithm. And so FileMaker generate kind of this string with letters and numbers, which is unique to the machine. So knowing that I can get that, I'm using this as a key to encrypt. So whatever self means, whatever is inside, whatever I type in the password, whatever I type, this gets encrypted with the key, and the key is this persistent ID proper to my machine. Now, this is auto entry calculation. I have nothing to do. I type and bam. If I go to the next field or I validate, I commit the record, it's encrypted. Then the script here, I have a script that is using this information here, right? I'm using whatever I put in the, to log in, there's the password. I need to log in. Account name, I have this, but the password, I need to decrypt the base 64. I need to decrypt this, what inside this, the password user. I need to decrypt it using this key. So the advantage is what? If you put a static key in your scripts, if you put a key like that, the key is hard-coded into the script. So if you hack the script, if you have a rogue employee that you grant access admin one day and he has access to this script and can get the key, and if you really want to hack you, right? So this is not a good technique. You need a key that is unique. So we could have used, some people are using the random. Okay, this. But it's not secure enough. Random is not secure enough. Why? And you know why. You can see why. It's because you don't have numbers and stuff like that. So you don't have letters. So you have only numbers. So, and it's not secure enough, the random, The get persistent ID, it's better. The key to encrypt and decrypt the password is unique to my machine. It's not hard-coded. Thus, it's hard to discover. It's hard to get. Even if you go here, you look my script, and you say, okay, you don't know, because the persistent ID will be generated based on a specific computer somewhere, So it's way more advanced. So when you want to decrypt things, this is the best way to do it. You put an auto entry calculation, bam, you encrypt, and bam, you decrypt when you want using your get persistent ID. That means when the machine, only the machine that encrypted can decrypt. That means if, for example, a hacker intercepts, your login, for example, and he intercepts your password while you try to log in. You have a malware in your computer, whatever, right? And he gets the encrypted password. He gets the encrypted password. He has no way to discover the key because it's out of a FileMaker function. It's not hard-coded. Only the computer that encrypted the password can decrypt it. Only the same machine. So if somebody takes the information to another machine, it has no way to decrypt it. So it's extremely, extremely secure. This is Fort Knox. No, it is not possible to overpass this. This is a level of security that we wanted to add. Now I want to show you other thing out of this file that are very good. So I can just log in and log in. Oops. Here, oh, by the way, yeah, there's another thing here. So, when you do this, you say admin. You can see you tap admin here, but because when you click here, you have no way to see how many, because this is because of the encryption, right? So it's even better. So you have no way to count the number of letters, the number of characters you need to see. I want to show you the level of security that we add. So you can see here we have two users here. You have Palpatine and Anakin. You can see here you have an icon here. That means this user has a FileMaker account. Each user has the possibility to be related to a FileMaker account. Here, for example, this user doesn't have an account. So let's, you go to security, and you can see here, you go to security. There's no OB1 account, right? There's none. Now let's create one. And I want the read-only access, okay? OB1 read-only access. And I want to create a FileMaker account. I want to create out this user. I want this user to be able to log into the file, okay? So you create an account and you say, okay. And here, this is the kind of the level of security additional level of security that we enter. First of all, the password must contain here's when you create an account and you must create the account. You create the password. The password you create needs to be 6-character minimum, has a capital letter, has a number, and a special character. FileMaker, out of the box, in the security level, in the security panel, doesn't have any restriction. So when you create a new account, you go here and you put 11111. That's it. It just tells you that this is weak. That's it. But it doesn't tell you, it doesn't force you to get a more secure. We created it for you within FileMaker. And because this file is completely unlocked, you can learn how we did it. And it's very cool the way we did it. Very cool. You learn a big stuff here. So you enter the password. So I'm entering the password. Question mark, exclamation point, O, 0 as O, capital B, the letter 1, right? 1, 2, 3. Exclamation point, 0, capital B, 1, 1, 2, 3. So I'm fulfilling all what I want. Okay, 6-character. Because if I don't, let's say I'm doing this, right? Hear what I'm saying. Now, password must contain 6-character minimum. So it's you can pass this. If I don't put if I'm putting this, for example, it's must contain a special character. So you need to, obey what you need to do here. Okay, so exclamation point 0 B 1 1 2 3. Okay, so you can see here, I have a visual bug here I need to fix. As you can see here, we have this fancy UI, and you see what's going on here. You can deactivate, activate. So let's say I want to deactivate. So first of all, let's go to security and see. You can see here, I have OB1 with read-only access, right? That's what I asked for. So it's there. So once again, that's a demonstration that we are not replacing FileMaker security. This is FileMaker security. And we improved it. And we made it prettier. So now I want to deactivate this account because I want to keep it, but Obi-Wan, I don't want you to get in for the moment. So you go security and say, hey, it's deactivated now. You can reactivate it. Or you can just say, I want to remove. Or you want to reset the password, right? So you want to remove it, bam. If you go to security, no more Obi-Wan, it's gone. And then you can create it again. Here you type the login you want, and here you put all the privilege set you have. Of course, if you are adding in security, you are adding your own privilege set. You create a new one, the new privilege set. You need to enrich this value list and put the name of your privilege set here as well. Then you can create an account with it. So this is cool. So now you know the persistent ID, right? You know that the persistent ID is something that is unique for the computer. So since this is unique to a computer, that's why we get this fancy remember me feature. Let's use it. I want to admin, and I want to be remembered in this machine. So I sign in, and I'm here, I'm logged in as Chief Palpatine. If I'm going to my profile, so I'm quitting this. And I want to launch it again. Here what happened. So he says, welcome back, Chief, right? And he put my login, my account name, at least my account name, but not the password. So it's kind of halfway between the keychain or whatever password management you have on the Windows machine and no storage at all. So this is kind of what you encounter in the web industry. When you log into your bank account and stuff like that, you can remember your account name, but you cannot remember everything. You don't remember the password. You need to enter the password. And if you want something secure, that's the kind of the law that you need to obey. So now you see this is cool because now I just have to type. I don't have to type, and that is proper to my machine. Each time I'm opening this file with my machine, this physical machine, I will get recognized until I'm going there and I'm uncheck this. In that case, if I log in without the remember me, I close, I reopen it, and it said welcome to Launchpad, and it didn't recognize it anymore. This is it for today. Also, always, if you have any questions and if you have anything that you want to talk about, please feel free to contact us. We'll be glad to answer, and we love good comments and we love good feedback. So if you have any, thank you for watching, and I hope you have fun.
And the guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected, the quarterback. great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap. Stands in, throws it left for Amendola. Reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10. Rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but then he makes the grab.